Alright, next is an individual named Tyler Kerr. And I seem to keep in contact more with Tyler over the years, and that was in part to him calling me consistently every few months. Tyler was also a writer, and we would act as editors for one another. So we kind of shared this mutual interest in writing, screenplays, and film. Now Tyler, who calls himself Adam Rush, is into spoken word or poetry. And around 2013, I began to hang out with Tyler more consistently because I was helping him develop his YouTube website by creating a series of videos for him. So I would film him reciting his poetry at several different locations that I would then edit, I would add music to them, and I would create videos that he could upload onto his YouTube channel. After meeting my wife, I kind of stopped hanging out. I didn't go to bars or clubs anymore. But Tyler was still into the local bars and social nightlife scene in the area. So he would always tell me who he ran into. But I had lost touch with a lot of the old friends back in high school. So around 2013, when we began hanging out more because we were working on his YouTube website, Tyler began to tell me that he had seen a lot of these guys that we knew back in high school, and they were all gravitating toward the town of New Milford, and many were hanging out with a gang called DFL, which stood for Down for Life. Now New Milford is a larger town that's next door to Brookfield, Connecticut, where we lived. And I guess that New Milford has more bars and places to hang out. But when we were younger, everyone used to hang out in the nearby city of Danbury, which is on the other side of Brookfield. I don't remember too many people going into New Milford to hang out. Everybody would go into Danbury, and we knew a lot of the Danbury kids. But now, according to Tyler, a lot of people that we knew were going into New Milford for one reason or another. And he kept on bringing that up when I would go see him. So one of these places in New Milford where they were hanging out was a Masonic lodge called the Odd Fellows, the Order of the Odd Fellows. And the Odd Fellows Hall is located at 25 Danbury Road in New Milford, Connecticut. And that is the major road that runs through New Milford, and it is also called Route 7. So Tyler said that the Odd Fellows had a hall that hosted shows where local bands could play. And the Odd Fellows also hosted a music festival called Oddstock. I guess Oddstock is an outdoor music festival. However, it appears that they also have versions of Oddstock inside the Odd Fellows Hall as well. So Tyler kept on saying that he would see a lot of people that we knew whenever he went into New Milford, either to the bars or to do shows at the Odd Fellows Hall. He started performing on stage, doing spoken word with a jazz band. So he said he would often see people that we hung out with at the Odd Fellows Hall. And that included Adam Nelson, who Tyler said worked as a cook there, and Jason Martin, Ryan Reynolds, Keith Liniart, Paul DeGrazio, Brian Fuda, and Casey Gibson. And these guys were all hanging out in New Milford, at the bars, at the Odd Fellows Hall. And they were all associated with that group called DFL, or Down for Life. So they had several photos on their different Facebook pages of them hanging out in these different locations in New Milford. And Tyler would open up Facebook on his computer and show me these photographs. So when he did that, I would say, yeah, that's cool, but I usually stay at bars now, which he knew that. So as you can see, these guys did not look especially good. In these photos, their eyes are all glowing. And I don't know if some of this is photoshopped or they pointed a light in their eyes, causing this effect on purpose or not. But these guys were always into partying and acting weird. So I just kind of dismissed it. I didn't think too much about it. But if these photos were not altered on purpose, and this is a normal picture, I guess they did look kind of possessed. But I kind of told myself in the back of my mind that it's not up to me to go check them out or go help them, because everybody had to make decisions for themselves, and they would either make the right decisions or the wrong decisions, whether I showed up there or not. And I was also kind of conscious of these games to kind of pull you into certain areas. And I was very wary of the town called New Milford. I had been told when I worked as an EMT by a guy that worked at the ambulance garage, and he was a retired state trooper, and he had said New Milford was always a weird place. It had been a penal colony at one point. Back a couple hundred years ago, that's where they put all the undesirables. It was a penal colony. And New Milford was known for like people that were inbred and people that were deformed. And New Milford was also known for a large population of low-class people. And of course, you could see the investigation that I did into New Milford. So these old friends of mine that I had not seen for 10 or 15 years, I was not going to go seek them out in some bar in New Milford. It just looked like they were still into drinking, partying, and wasting time anyway. So I'm guessing that some of these photos were taken at the Oddfellows Hall. So I have compared some of these photos that I took off of my friends' Facebook pages with these photographs that were found on the Oddfellows from New Milford Facebook page. And some of them look like they are taken at the Oddfellows building. These friends of mine that are hanging out in New Milford had some videos too. And some of those videos look like they were taken at the Oddfellows building. So Tyler kept on doing shows at the Oddfellows Hall and at an Oddfellows sponsored music festival. And that was called Oddstock. This is a video off of Tyler Kerr's YouTube channel. Here's a video of him wearing an Oddstock shirt. So on the Oddfellows from the Milford Facebook page, they had a link for Oddstock, the outdoor musical festival. And I guess it's a 2-day thing, starting on Friday and then going through Saturday. And it's at a campground, I guess somewhere around New Milford. And they advertised that you could pay 25 bucks and camp out there overnight, or just pay for the day pass, either Friday night or Saturday. So they advertise that you could camp there. And they say that alcohol is allowed, but you have to bring your own alcohol. So here are a few photographs of the Oddstock Musical Festival and some of the posters that they have for it. Including a symbol of an owl, which is a favorite symbol of secret societies, and a pile of crap. So like I said, the musical festival is sponsored by the Oddfellows Freemasonic Society. So I looked up the New Milford Oddfellows and found that they had a Facebook page for the New Milford Hall. And they had a link to the, I guess, general website that's nationwide. And after looking at that, I noticed that the Oddfellows have a branch for women, and they call that the Rebeccas. And then they also have a branch, or what appears to be 3 branches, for children. And I find that interesting because I have never heard of Freemasonic societies with youth branches. But here the Oddfellows have I guess, 3 organizations for kids. And they have a few newsletters on the website. And these newsletters are for kids. And in it, they make no attempt to hide that the military is the leaders of the Oddfellows. And they have this guy dressed in a military uniform. And he has his military title here. And his name is General S. Ray Johnson, General Commanding General Military Council, Patriarchs Militant. And he says, greetings to all the young fraternal members. Greetings from the General Military Council, the uniform branch of the Independent Order of Oddfellows. Do not forget my words. It is very hard to soar with the eagles when you spend all your time squabbling with the turkeys. And here is Lady Michelle Jones, President of the International Association, Ladies Auxiliaries Patriarchs Militant. And she also has a military uniform on. And at the bottom she has her little icon of an owl. Alright, the SGL IARA JYC has met and plans are well on the way for Youth Days in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in August. We have so many fun activities and different things planned this year. All our activities will be held at the SGL headquarters. The history in this building is sure to amaze everyone. If there is any member turning 15, I would like to remind you about the IOOF, that's the Independent Order of Oddfellows Youth Tour. So they're planning one of their trips to this place in North Carolina, and they need the total number of junior Oddfellows, United Youth Groups, and Cadet Corps. Then they advertise, let us entertain you, formal dinner and theater. This year's formal banquet will be held on Friday evening. Bring your skits and musical talent. So it says underneath here, what to wear to the banquet. By request of you, our youth, our banquet is a formal sit-down meal. So either formal or military dress is expected. Down here is where they will reserve a room in North Carolina, either at the Marriott or the Embassy Suites. And both of those are on North Cherry Street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Then they want to inform all the young Oddfellows how to fold the flag correctly, which is a big practice in the U.S. military. And they have again their famous little owl logo. It's like a redundant symbol is owls here, almost like a program. So at the bottom it says, so they explain what every fold stands for when folding the American flag. When folding the American flag, and then they say, and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the U.S., preserving for them the rights, privileges, and freedoms they enjoy today. And then at the bottom, they have their little puzzle and riddle section. And they write, riddle me this. It can't be seen, can't be felt, can't be heard, can't be smelt. It lies behind stars and under hills, and empty holes it fills. It comes first and follows after. It ends life and kills laughter. What is it? The dark. So that's what the Oddfellows newsletter for the kids is all about, which is kind of like a promotion of the military. So you can see quite obviously who is in control of the Oddfellows with a newsletter like this. So in my opinion, it encourages kids to want to join the military by showing them that the military is the leadership of this organization that they're all a part of. And of course, the little Oddfellows want to grow up to be the militant Oddfellows that control the organization. So of course, most of these kids will end up joining the military.